Jesse, thank you. God bless you.
You too,
Hi.
buddy.
Good
Thank
morning.
you. Good morning.
Hey, man. Morning, Jesse. Now it's I'm turning 37 today, and it's wanted to call you for my birthday just to
Happy
say thank
birthday,
you.
man. That's amazing.
Thank you, brother.
37.
Amen.
He wanted to call Jesse Lee Peterson for his birthday. Wow, that's extremely sad.
Yes, sir. And I want to confirm everything you've taught in my own life. You know, I have two brothers, older brothers, two brother-in-laws, and in my opinion, the Mexican mother is 10 times worse. But it's a spiritual warfare. And
Yes.
I stood up 2 years ago because you have to. If you don't, fellas, evil and sickness will come in.
Wow, we're just gonna jump straight into racism. Mexican mothers are evil. You gotta stand up to them, otherwise evil comes into your life. Wow.
In
Yes.
one way or another. It will come in one way or another, either through one way or another. It comes in, and I ended up, like you said, the pain on the.
Wow, can't even explain how evil comes into your life if you don't stand up to your Mexican mother. I'm assuming this guy is of Mexican descent. If not, he is even more racist than what I would have imagined. I mean, if you have said experiences, you should be able to list them off, especially if you're going to call into a show and talk about some bullshit.
Wall, the dog, everything. It'll, and it happened. I personally, went through it. Ended up in the hospital. Ended up with seizures. But I stood up to the three-headed dragon, which is my mother-in-law, my mother, my wife, the three females in my life, and
Wow, that's what he calls his grandmother, his mother-in-law, and his mom, the three-headed dragon. That's pretty badass, actually. Three-headed dragons are pretty cool.
Right on.
now I forgave. I did it all, and I'm now today reflecting back, and it's just amazing. I'm like you say, I'm ended up being my own parents, my parents' parents. This morning, my father called me from Mexico. My mom, they got another respect. It's something spiritual, really. And I'm in victory now. I got my land, got my home. I got two boys. I'm the head of my wife, and it's just something amazing, spiritual. It's just, I love you, Jesse. God bless you so much, and just so grateful. I have a fearful gratefulness to God, and it's just amazing. I just wanted to let any man out there know, you have to stand up. You have to stand up.
Yes.
There's
Absolutely.
consequences if you don't. There's consequences if you don't.
Yes.
What consequences? What? Uh, ending up in a hospital, which it can happen to anyone at any time for any reason. Like, this dude just seems really weird.
And I think
Satan will come in, get your wife to cheat on you. You cheat your children. I mean, it's just. I mean, I can just talk forever about it, but
Wait. Is he saying that his mother-in-law, his mom, and his grandmother convinced his wife to cheat on him?
it's real. It's the truth, and I'm real grateful. It's just amazing.
you're welcome, man. That's an amazing testimony. God bless you for that. And you're right. What most men and women don't know, you got to go and deal with your mother. You got to forgive her. You got to face her. It's the hardest thing in the world for adult men and women to do is to face mama. But if you want to be born again of the Spirit of God, if you want to overcome mama, you got to deal with her. Forgive her and forgive your father for not protecting you, and you'll be fine.
Wow. So I guess in Jesse's life, his mom was a bit mean, so he resents his mom for maybe his mom was abusive, either physically or emotionally. Probably maybe both. So he's mad at his mom for being mean to him, and he feels bad for his dad because his dad didn't have a backbone, and he wants to blame his mom for everything. so he blames all women for all problems.
And how
Amazing,
did you know
sir.
that? How did you know that it was it was coming from the mother? I mean, we can sense it, right? As a man, you can see it in the eyes. Like there's something there. It's called it, whatever it is, but it's evil, and it. I used to call it it. I would look at whoever, either my mother-in-law, my wife, and I look right into their eyes when I stood up to them, and I call it it. You know, it's something called it, but
Yes.
Wow. I can't imagine being a person like this who believes all women are evil, and if they show either anger or something, you call it and consider them even more evil. It's like, wow, how can you be this twisted about women?
Well, you
you
could.
stand up to it, and there's victory. There's victory afterward. It's just amazing.
It is.
Just, wow.
The way God allowed me to see, because I didn't know either, right? And I've been heard,
Yeah.
you think you love your mama because you feel that emotion for her and all that, but that come from hate. And he,
Wow, you think you love your mama because of emotion, but no, you don't actually love your mom. You hate your mom, and the feelings of love is actually hate. Wow, Jesse is pretty twisted.
allowed
Yeah.
me to see that it was my mother and that I needed to forgive her. And
Yes. And you say just be, and just be, because I got brothers-in-laws and big brothers and big brother-in-laws, beta, but they're seeing my life, they're seeing it, and I'm seeing the respect, I'm seeing the honor. It's something spiritual that it's affecting them
yeah,
in a good way, hopefully. But it's just something that's deep. But there's victory. You have to stand up. If you're a man and you don't stand up, it's unbelievable.
yeah,
The amount of betas, but it's sad at the same time because. Oh man, I was I was asleep, of course. And when I was younger, I went to prison when I was 18. Ended up coming out of there a prison gang leader, just from being a man. Respect, honor.
Wow, he thinks he became a prison gang leader out of being a man because of respect and honor. Nah, he probably did a lot of shit in order to be a gang leader.
You can't be, something real and fake. I really can't explain the spiritual, but it's something about being a man that man should take as something special, honorable. It's a big responsibility to be a man, and you can't submit to your mothers, especially. I mean, that's embarrassing. But the mothers.
Wow, wow, oh, okay, I see. You can't listen to your mom because it will embarrass you in front of the boys. I see how it is. What childish mentality.
The Mexican mother is worse than the black mother, Jesse, and I'll get encouraged to do a Mexican podcast over here because they actually take the spiritual role as God because of the Virgin Mary. That's the number one thing in the Mexican tradition is the Virgin Mary. That's the mother of God, and it's something they take on that. The mothers will say, well, I'm the Virgin Mary too. I'm the I'm the God of the family, and it's amazing to see it. It's just, but
wow.
I know it. I stood up.
Well, if guys can claim that they're somehow the head of the household because of Jesus, well then women can say something similar.
I stood up. I stood up to my mother-in-law, her brother, her son. I wasn't even there, but I did. I wasn't it right, and it's about being right, loving right, standing
Yes.
firm, and
Yes.
you'll be okay. It's crazy, but you'll be okay. But if not, you'll get sick. Your family will Satan will get a hold of them through adultery, through whatever,
Yes.
whatever you want to call it. But that's Satan.
Wow, wow, wow. If you don't stand up to the women in your family, Satan will come and poison you and make your wife or spouse commit adultery.
Coming in because you didn't stand up. But I'm 37 today. I'm reflecting back. I got my acre. I got my 3-bedroom trailer. I got my son, my wife. I got a 19-year-old that I had he's 20 now, at a wedlock, Jesse, when I was, 16 years old. But
Yes.
Oh, a slut maker. He had a child out of wedlock. And Jesse's reaction is, oh, yes. Because that's what Jesse did. Had a child out of wedlock. It's okay for men to do that, but it's bad for women to have children or to have sex before marriage, unless it's a guy.
And I was curious about him because I pushed on. He finished school. He got his job. I had him. I believe I raised him, but he took off. He got. Question is, I'm raising my 5-year-old now, and there's a difference because the one out of wedlock was raised up to the age of 6 by his mother, and does that still have an effect up until this age? Cause
Yes. Hold on.
Wow, this is hilarious. He's now worried about his kid afterwards. Now that the fact that, the kid was raised by a single mother, he didn't care beforehand, to help raise the kid. This is hilarious.
But hold on, let me take a short break.
Sorry.
All right, don't hang up.
Yes, sir.
Hold on. So, Israel, if I'm correct, you have a 6-year-old son, right?
I have a 5-year-old and a 20-year-old.
And how's the 20-year-old doing right now?
I didn't get him until he was 6 years old from his mother out of wedlock when I was younger, and he got what we call whooped. He got himself with a female, moved in her apartment, and I ain't heard him since.
Yeah.
I ain't heard from him since.
I guarantee you, Israel, it's because he resent his mother, so he resent all women. Women will become his God. And so if
I figured
that. Wow. He's talking about himself right here. This is hilarious.
If you ever find him again or talk to him, just let him know. You can't make him change, but you can tell him what's going on. He needs to forgive his mother for turning him away from you and forgive you for not being there to protect him. And then, but you can't really,
forgive your, the guy was 16, but, if you're gonna end up getting a person pregnant, you're gonna have to, do something to be a bit more responsible. But yeah, he's so forgiven of guys that have kids out of wedlock, while at the same time calling women sluts and evil for the same thing.
It's the same spirit. And until he either suffer and cry out to God or listen to you, he's going to have a hard life.
Yes, I know what you're saying. Just I can see that everything, that the spirit of the anger that's in the women, you should say black women, Mexican women versus Mexican women, it's very more scarier in the Mexican because it seems to be spiritual. The black thing, you can almost see it outside, and it's almost laughable because it's just outbursts, rage, anger. But the Mexican mother goes deep, spiritual with her anger. She tries to go in deep with her sons and daughters. And my wife, thank God, it took years, Jesse, but ended up waking up, like you said, the paint comes off, everything. The dog started having seizures, and I knew it was spiritual.
Wow. This is crazy. Mexican women and black women are evil because they express anger. Wow. This is taken like the angry POC stereotype, the angry POC woman stereotype to the extreme. But, they consider all women to be evil for expressing anger, but I could not imagine that black people and Mexican people, black women and Mexican women expressing anger made them even worse.
I woke up one morning, and I woke up one morning in my bed, I'd bitten my tongue, and there was blood on the pillow, of course, and the paramedics were already in my room. I woke up to that, and I was like, what is going on? My wife looked at me all crazy. You had a seizure. And I was like, okay.
She looked at him all crazy. More so, she probably looked at him with worry, because if you wake up to somebody seizing next to you, or you're laying there and your spouse is seizing next to you, you're going to panic a bit and get frantic. But my mind is blown how he's trying to blame her for his medical condition.
caught off guard. And ever since that day, it's just something started taking serious. I had time to, because I was off of work then, so I was able to listen to the show and everything. It's just on point. More encouraged me to stand up, and it's just a testimony. If you don't stand up, you'll have negative consequences, negative spiritual consequences in your life. You just have to stand up. You're already a man. It's just, but the amount of betas, it's just, but that anger, that spirit of anger, it's.
I'm going to end this part here. We'll have to finish part 2 later. Peace out.